This is Andy Gutierrez from StarWars.com, and you are listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z. This is the podcast you're looking for.
I've been waiting for Celebration all year long.
Are you ready to celebrate?
California. I love LA. We love it. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate.
Oh, and guess what? This is the podcast you're looking for.
This is James Arnold Taylor, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi. I have a good feeling about this.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Coffee with Kenobi. Here we are with 2 weeks left until Celebration. I got the dream team here with us, breaking down all of your pressing questions about Star Wars Celebration, how best to experience it, what you can expect from the event, and all that good stuff. So first, let's bring in returning guest and the co-creator of Coffee with Kenobi, as well as a terrific designer and a fabulous dancer, Cory Clubb.
Let's see. 2 of the 3 of those things are true. Unless, who knows what happens in that podcast meetup. It gets kind of crazy. So, yes, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to talk. I'm 2 weeks away. Wow, it's come faster than I thought.
Yeah, the day that this comes out, we've got less than 14 days we'll be there. We're recording this on Wednesday, May 11th. 14 days from then, we will be in California the night before the event. You heard a sigh in the background. That is our other guest for this evening, the co-host of Teachers in the Dungeon. He, alongside with Cory, are also guest co-hosts with me.
Yeah, I got you.
CWK pour over. Tom Gross.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be back on the big show with both of you. You would talk about the dream team. I don't know, Dan. I'm assuming you've got the 2-3 on your jersey. Cory, what number are you going for on yours?
Number 17.
Number 17. Okay, I guess I got the 33 then. All right.
Sounds
good. 2 weeks away, you guys. Whoa.
2 weeks away.
Nice.
2 weeks away. We talked last week about sort of how you're feeling for this one compared to the last one.
Yeah.
Has that changed at all? Do you still feel the same excitement and nerves and butterflies as you did for the first Celebration, or do you have a little more peace because you know what to expect?
Oh, definitely a little bit more peace. Because of the pandemic, numbers of people, crowds still make me anxious, but definitely the excitement is overtaking that. And so, yeah, and being there once definitely helps. And like we talked last week, there's a lot of things that I was like anxious about that after being there, I'm like, things happen, things that you want to happen, you can make happen if you want it. But there are other things you're kind of like, oh, that would have been nice, but boy, did I have fun doing this. And so there's so much to do, so many people to meet that, I am so pumped. And every day that passes, I get more and more excited.
There's a lot to be excited about. I mean, since we last spoke, there was another guest announced, Tamira Morrison, Boba Fett himself, or Jango Fett, if you prefer, from the prequels, is going to be there for pictures and photo ops, which reminds me, we do have some questions about that. We got in the CWK Cafe that I want to be sure to answer later. We found out that the virtual panel and exhibitor exclusive selections are going to be open on May the 12th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Now, let me tell you how that is going to work. Okay. Virtual panel selection. This is right from the email that was sent to all of us. For the first panel of each day on the Celebration stage, Galaxy stage, and Twin Sun stage will open Thursday, May 12th at 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific time through Thursday, May 19th at 11:59 Pacific time. You do not need to rush to enter on May 12th. So you've got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You got 8 days to do it. It is not first come, first serve. It was not first come, first serve in Chicago either. So whenever you get to it, that's okay. Virtual panel selections will be open for a week for your convenience, and the time in which you enter does not impact your chances of being selected. Now, Funko and Lego are also going to be utilizing an advanced virtual selection process to provide more fans the opportunity to purchase exclusive items from their booth during a dedicated shopping window. So it'll say, like if Funko picks you, they'll say, okay, Friday from 10 to noon, you can come get in line. And you hope that the stuff you want is still there, because they have a certain amount of stuff they allow you to purchase every day. Like let's say they've got 40 Darth Vaders or whatever the case may be. I don't even know what the exclusives are. I think they're all New Hope focused. And when they're done, they're done. So when you get your window, just head over there and you'll be good to go. And then the Lightspeed lane reservations to reserve a time to shop at the Celebration store or attend panels on the Galaxy and the Twin Sun stages without a need to stand in line. Those reservations are going to be, you have to have an activated badge too. Let's talk about the badges. Okay. You do need stinking badges. You need them. There are many people that are still
badges. Oh,
exactly.
Sorry.
There are still people that are waiting to receive their badges, including us.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
These guys are waiting for their badges. We've been waiting for them to show up. At the time of this recording, they're delayed. They were supposed to get here on Monday. They're still not here. I've had to turn in a claim to the post office. So is it nerve-wracking? Yes, it is. And I know many of you, based on what you're saying, the CWK Cafe are running into similar stuff. Believe me, we feel your pain. We understand. And I think Celebration does too. There's a big kitchen and not enough cooks to give you all the food you need when you need it. But everybody's doing their best. We're hoping everybody will get their tickets in advance. But you've got, like I said, a good 8 days to register for your stuff. So hopefully the Force will be with us. I can't imagine we won't all be there together laughing and saying, woo, boy, that was scary. Thank goodness we're all here. Laugh, joke, that Cory eats nachos. Hopefully that'll all just be.
That's how I like it. That's how I see it as well. And can I make a comment on what I have seen of the badge artwork?
Let's talk about the badge artwork.
Some of our good friends in the cafe have posted theirs, and man, I couldn't be more disappointed in this badge artwork. I mean, here's the other thing too. You mentioned COVID in the sense of yes, we've been missing out on some of these conventions and they've been delayed, which rightly so. I totally understand. But then to me, it gives them a lot more time to kind of say, hey, how can we, inform, or how can we basically do better in certain areas? We've got some extra time to give to this. And this is an area to me it's fun. A badge is a commemorative thing that you use a keepsake. And to me, it just kind of makes you feel like you're there, you've made it, you've arrived. And these badges look like they were pulled out of the Starlight pit or something. Like, what is happening? To me, it looks like it's an image from The Mandalorian, I think.
I think
or something. And it's dark.
The 4-day ones you're talking about.
Yes, the 4-day ones. So that's one I've seen so far. But it's unfortunate because I think what we talked about last show, if you guys go listen to that one, we had some awesome artwork. Man, you reuse that artwork. I would have loved to have a badge with some of that artwork on there. Like we said, any of those designs were awesome. I think I would have loved to have that. It would be a great way to promote the artwork itself. And plus, if I couldn't have a chance to get one of those, I at least have something with something on it. So it's right away to me. It's like, use what you got. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to me, and they could have done so much better. Yeah,
I've only seen some heavily pixelated images. I haven't gotten to see any in person and hold them, but I was hoping our previous celebrations, there's always a great logo for the celebration with the character spotlighted in very artistic ways that we've certainly talked about before. And the merchandise they're selling with Darth Vader with that gold around him or whatever color that is, and all those cool things. I was hoping all of the badges would have that. They don't. I don't know what the behind the scenes is on that or what decisions were made, but I am looking forward to seeing them. I prefer personally seeing the characters on the badges themselves as opposed to planets. Maybe it'll look better in person and it'll change our minds. I don't know. I like the characters, but
sure.
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to. I mean, I wonder what the badges would have looked like if Celebration was in 2021, or maybe that was always the plan. I guess I don't really know.
Could be.
Cory, until you said that, I've seen those pictures, and it didn't even occur to me that they were the badges. I'm with you. They are very dark, very dark. And and you can see the Mando ship but it's teeny tiny up in the corner.
I think the press one
Interesting.
is an image of the twin cloud cars for Bespin. I think that's the media one, but that's the only two that I have seen.
The other thing too I want to say is just from a standpoint of just everybody's wearing a badge, right? So it's like people who are working the event would want to see, bright colors on it or something like you said, characters where they had like the Inquisitor was on one that I remember. It was like
that was our media
red.
one from 15.
And instantly the people working the show would know, oh, that's a media badge, or that's a guest badge, or that's a 4-day pass, or whatever the case may be. So it's like they know how to do, kind of do their job a little easier for them. They're not trying to squint their eyes and figure out what's going on. So this, from a design standpoint, I think that could have been a lot better executed.
Right. No, I respect your decision or your opinion for sure. So speaking of panels and stages and things like that, I was finally able to announce last week on social media that I am the host of the Star Wars Celebration fan stage, which is very, very exciting. Yeah, I mean, it's a very busy slot. I'm going to be very active. I'll be able to sneak away for a couple of things, which we'll talk about hopefully next week. But it's going to be great to interact with so many different fans. There's going to be, a Mandalorian Mercs panel, 501st, Rebel Legion. There's going to be a ton of stuff. So I hope you'll come and say hello and meet even more Star Wars fans. I think it's going to be an absolute blast. But more on that as we get closer and closer. So we're talking about Celebration. The Tamira Morrison news was big. Another big piece of information. This was actually announced today. And I'll read this from. It was posted on Instagram. According to Star Wars Celebration, it's the Rancho Obi-Wan logo, which we know and love. It says, "We are thrilled to present the Boba Fett to Bo-Katan, the evolution of the Mandalorians exhibit at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim. Come see rare treasures from the collections of Steve Sansweet, Gus Lopez, Duncan Jenkins, Lisa Stephen, and Vic Wirtz, 3rd floor, room 304B. There you go. That is going to be great. Cory, I'm sure you remember very well. It wasn't the same thing because this was actually props from the upcoming The Force Awakens back when Celebration Anaheim in 2015. But going up there, and I know how much space that is, seeing all these, larger-than-life collectors displaying all of their amazing Mandalorian things. Dude, this is going to be really cool.
So I love this because I remember, like you said, I remember walking through this for The Force Awakens, and like it was kind of tucked away off to the side, but boy, they did a great job presenting these things and keeping it almost looked like watching a museum. And to have Rancho bring their products and specialities to this little section, I think I can't wait to see this. This is something that's risen to the top of my list for sure. And what excitement too, because I think Steve has such great passion for what he does. And he has now a lot more space to be able to expand into that. He brings these great themes. We talked about earlier off the show that he did this like almost kids' bedroom scene, which was just makes you feel like you've walked back in time. I can't wait to see what he's going to do, how he's going to curate with some of the pieces that he has, and basically get to walk through all the great memorabilia and trinkets and treasures and all the things that I don't expect too. That's something too. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Like a chocolate Darth Vader, crazy. Somebody took a bite out of or something like that. Just something crazy like that. To me, it's just like that is so cool that he has that in the collection, but also brings it to show off for everybody. So definitely make that something you guys want to see.
Tom, anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, I think that sounds really cool as well. When you bring up the bedroom, when you think, I saw that when I was at Rancho with you, Dan.
That's right.
2016, 2017, somewhere in there. And when I think about the detail that went into that, anything that they put out, it's a must see. So I'm very excited for that as well.
Super cool. All right. So speaking of that, we've talked about Tamira Morrison. We've got the stuff with Rancho Obi-Wan. Next week, we're going to take a much closer look at what is going on the show floor as far as exhibitors, but we're also going to talk a lot about the different panels as well. That's going to be next week. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we're going to talk about what you can do after hours at Star Wars Celebration. This is Coffee with Kenobi.
This is Vanessa Marshall, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi.
We are back talking Star Wars Celebration. 2 weeks to go until the big event. So that first night, we've talked about this a lot, but it's because we hope to see you all there. You've got Thursday, May 26th at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Hilton Anaheim Mix Lounge, which is right in the same area. Like basically you leave the convention, there's this big, beautiful fountain, and on the other side is the Hilton. That is where you're going to go for the Celebration Podcast Meetup. Now, our logo does say Coffee with Kenobi on it, but this isn't just for Coffee with Kenobi. It's for podcasters, Star Wars podcasters, people who are fans of podcasts that are Star Wars related. You know, there's going to be a huge, huge list. In fact, I don't think I've ever done this on the show, but I'm going to read to you every podcast that so far has announced that they're going to be there. Now, there may be others that just didn't put it on the list because honestly, so many people kept sending me, hey, put me on. They were all very nice, very cool. But after a while, there's only so much time in the day. There are a lot of Star Wars podcasts. But here's the ones that I've got written down so far. We've got us. We've got James and Jedi News. We've got Full of Sith with Brian and Holly. Fantha Tracks with Mark Lubold. WDW Radio with Lou Mangello. I mean, that alone was enough to get people in the doors. It's Array. Podcast Stardust. The Force Cast. Rebel Base Card. The Unknown Regions Podcast. Star Wars Splash Page. Skywalking Through Neverland. Skywalking Through the League. Sky Talkers. Ashto Radio. Star Wars Only. WSTR Media. Bro Axiom. Around the Galaxy. The Bombad Cast, Spark of Hope Podcast, Force Ghost Conversations, Podcast of the Wills, Star Wars in the Galaxy Podcast, Hollow Chronicles Podcast, Blast Points Podcast, Tarkin's Top Shelf, Kanata's Castle, The Resistance Broadcast, Star Wars Stuff Podcast, and Talking Bay 94. And that is just scratching the surface.
And that is a pear tree. Wow.
Exactly. Now, they're on the Coffee with Kenobi Facebook page. I did make an event there, so you can go ahead and reserve or just kind of see who of your friends has already agreed to join us. But it starts at 7, and it's just we just put into our crest right now. I mean, I'm sure we'll be there for a very, very long time. Guys, this is a massive, massive highlight. The first time we did this, we had one just for Coffee with Kenobi in Anaheim, and it was a great blast. And that's when we had like a bunch of bloggers and stuff, but all of our old friends from the Geeks Helping Geeks message boards that we used to have. Then in 2017, we had it at Disney Springs at Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar. We had a great turnout there. That was a ton of fun.
That was a ton of fun.
I was just on Star Wars Reactions with Aaron Harris and David Motters, and we were talking about how that's where Aaron Harris had a broken hand, but he wasn't sure it was broken, so he carried around a glass with ice because he just wanted to have fun, didn't want to miss out, but he had a broken hand. Thank goodness he's okay now. And then in 2019 in Chicago, we had it at the hotel lobby bar. And that was
wow.
A highlight of Coffee with Kenobi's history to me, by the way. Speaking of that, I just want to say real quick, real side note. I just realized the day this is coming out is the 9-year anniversary of this podcast.
Yeah.
9 years of Coffee with Kenobi. I'm excited about that.
Excellent.
Amazing. All right, let's talk about. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Let's talk about, next year will be 10 years. Pretty crazy. Let's talk about how much fun the podcast meetup is.
Like you said, Dan, it is a blast because I want to say too is like if you're currently listening to us right now and you're going to Celebration, you're invited. That's right. If you know a podcast that you think we didn't list that would like to be part of that, tell them to contact us or contact Dan. Like, gotta let them know what's happening.
Just show up, yeah.
Or just show up, yeah, exactly. Like, I'd love to meet new podcasts, new fans, old fans, everybody in between. So I think too is like I remember standing like we could close that place down from my memory serves.
We did,
and it was just basically hanging out, talking Star Wars. Just talking podcasting, just talking life, getting to know people better. Because again, we've been part of this community for, like you said, 9 years, if not longer, pre CWK. So it's a matter of just getting together with your friends that you haven't seen for a while, and getting to see the people in face to face and enjoy the hey, I saw you posted this, and I love what you saw about that, and it's just good. It feels good. It feels like it's a family reunion. It feels like you're meeting friends you have known for such a long time, but yet for the first time in a sense, and it helps me put names and faces together a little bit too. It's like, that's the thing too, is like I always worry about, because like, I won't know who they are. I won't know, because I hear them, or I've seen them post something and it's behind an avatar or something like that. So it's like, it's cool to see people show up and enjoy and shake hands and greet and have a blast. It's a great way to just share the fandom and share the love of Star Wars.
You said it, Cory. A family reunion. And in Chicago, it was a family reunion that I didn't even know I had. No, I'm sorry. It was a family that I had a reunion with, but the family was a family I didn't. Yeah. Okay. Well, you get what I'm saying. Yep. Anyway, oh my gosh. This is definitely for Chicago one of the top. The podcast hangout was easily in the top 5 things that I think of when I think of Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. It was such a blast. I don't know if you guys remember when we were Ubering from the hotel to the podcast hangout. I was so fatigued and I was not feeling tip-top shape. When we walked in, I forgot all about that. It was so, I never forget walking in there in the lobby, there's a whole bunch of 501st guys and women standing out there kind of hanging out. And I was like, okay, that kind of got my energy going. And then walked into that bar, tavern, whatever it was. We kind of came around to our right and it was packed with people. And I forget who the first person was. Was it LJ Souter we talked to first when we walked in?
Might have been.
If it wasn't, he was one of the first. But it was like, it took me all night long to move from one side to the other, because there's just one friend to the next friend to the next friend to the next friend. I think I was there 2 hours before I had a drink in my hand. It was such a blast. And yeah, this is the place where you just have the time to visit with people and talk to people. When I think about the podcast hangout, this is where I became friends with everybody. And I just feel like I made so many connections, and I've heard so many stories from the guys at Hyperspace Hangout. Is that the name of their show? I can't remember now. I don't think you named them on the list, but they were talking about how there was a fire outside, like a fire pit outside. Did you even see or make it out to the fire pit?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and
I saw.
And they were all sitting out there, and they apparently
making
a microphone
connections
was passed around, and they just did an impromptu like podcast show of just passing around, introducing each other. And I don't know whose show eventually hosted that, or if they just shared it and everybody's show hosted out. But it was so cool that like all these people with all these shows made these connections around a fireplace at Star Wars Celebration. That just warms my heart. And Dan, you started this, and this is amazing. And I think that is so cool. And that's what you're so good at, is helping people to connect. And, Star Wars does that, but sometimes it takes a person or a group of people to bring them all in one place. And that's what you did. So the podcast hangout, you guys, if you, not you two, you guys, everyone listening,
we'll be there.
If you will want to be there. You don't want to miss it. Just come in, say hey, and it all goes from there. It was such a wonderful time. I loved every minute of it, even though I was so tired and exhausted.
I remember when we first walked in, like look, it's not a secret if you know me or spent any time with me. There's nothing I like better than people and schmoozing and talking, and as Cory says, shaking hands and taking pictures, and just that is like adrenaline to me, like you can't even imagine it. Like it said, Tom, it took us forever to cross the room. In fact, at one point, Dennis Keithley, who I hadn't seen, Nick came up to me and goes, "Hey, Dan," I'm going to shake hands. He goes, everyone keeps saying, "Where are you?" I'm like, he's on the other side of the room, still talking. It's because it took forever to get across there. There were so many people, and people come up and talk to you, and it's just the best. I mean, it's a terrific place to network.
Yep.
It's a terrific place to introduce yourselves to people. Like you had said, Cory, it's like, or both you said, this is like a reunion of your friends. Seeing your friends that you've either never met before, or haven't seen since Celebration, or you've recently become friends because of the last meetup. I mean, there are so many reasons, but We'll be able to talk about the events of the day. It's a massive highlight, and I'm glad that we decided to do it the first day because I'm going to want to see all of you, and that's always a real concern, especially now that I'm going to be so incredibly much busier than I ever have in a celebration, which is saying something. But knowing that I'll be able to see all of you then is great, and I'm pretty sure. And don't quote me on this, but I'm 99% sure that Drew Taylor and Jim Hill are going to be there as well. So basically, all these good folks are going to be there, and it's going to be, Clayton's going to be there. Clayton Sandell, Becky Mankin from MEI Mouse Fan Travel. It's going to be the best. Like, I mean, we'll be sporting our Coffee with Kenobi t-shirts. You'll be able to see us.
Oh yeah,
we're looking forward to seeing all of you. And I love that you personally invited everybody, Cory. That's
well. I want to say too, it makes kind of like it gives you a chance to like meet everybody without trying to find people on the convention floor or on a panel or something. Then you do see them afterwards the next few days. If you're staying that long, it's like, oh, we've already kind of like built that connection, and it's easy to be like, hey, how are you enjoying the day or whatever, So it's kind of fun, and you see people that maybe you kind of hit it off with as well, and you're kind of able to meet more people around the convention too. So I guess what's nice doing it early like that is making sure that people are connected right away, and then enjoy the rest of the convention as it goes on.
And again, the podcasts that I mentioned are the ones that when I first made this announcement contacted me. But all those names I listed were within less than 24 hours.
Yeah,
you don't have to contact me. You don't need your name on there. You just got to show up. Right. Just be in Anaheim. We'd love to see you.
And get the word out too.
Yes,
if you're listening to this, post about it, and we want to get the word out so that everybody can enjoy it. Because I know sometimes in the past people are like, "Oh, I heard about it too late," or wasn't able to know about it, and so that's really important to us.
This is the way.
This is the way.
All right. Speaking of important, so Friday we had to change it around because Disneyland said, "You know what? We're having our Disneyland After Dark Star Wars night on Friday, so we changed our date because we didn't want to miss. We didn't want to miss it. So let me tell you what Disneyland After Dark is. Before I say it, though, it is sold out. So I just want to say that in advance so you're aware. But if you do have a ticket, this is what is in store for you. It's got Disneyland is doing Disneyland After Dark. There's actually 3 separate ticketed after-hour events, but the last one is going to be during Celebration. It is going to include access to Disneyland Park, which is where Galaxy's Edge is located in California. It includes character experiences, a massive fireworks specialty show, photo opportunities, dancing, where Cory can show off his moves, event-themed menu selections, entertainment, including the March of the First Order featuring Captain Phasma, Star Wars-themed merchandise, attractions, commemorative keepsakes, decor, and more. So the fireworks spectacular is going to be great. Character experiences throughout the park. After hours access to Rise of the Resistance. Initially, when they said this, Rise was not going to be open, but Rise of the Resistance will be open. And so Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. There's very unique items that you can eat only there, unique dining experiences. If you look up the menu online, you can find it. Of course, I'm going to be excited about the merchandise. There are going to be souvenirs, like credentials and event guides that you're going to be given to you. I picture this, Cory, is very much like Galactic Nights,
yes,
which was after Star Wars Celebration Orlando in 2017, which is one of the best nights I've ever had. It was you and me and Dennis, Jeff McGee, and we, the 4 of us. I mean, we had Disney, we had the Hollywood Studios all to ourselves. Yeah, you feel like you own the place, and it's spectacular. It's spectacular fun. Tom isn't. Tom, you haven't been to Disney. Tom has never been to Galaxy's Edge. So just being able to take Tom to Galaxy's Edge for the first time. I'm a pretty good tour guide. Cory will tell you.
Yeah. He's been there a couple times. I want to say too, like this event to me, I remember going in thinking, oh, they'll just probably have some Star Wars things up. No big deal. No, this was an overhaul. Like this was like everything you walked into was like Star Wars themed restaurants, the food, like you said, every ride, every people working there. It was everybody was a part of this experience, and like they make it feel like it is something that it's gonna be super special. And like I said too, you get exclusives. Like I said, I my poster as well still sitting there, and just an experience in itself. of course, along with all the other fun things that go along with Disneyland. So I'm excited to go back. I'm excited to check it out again, see what they do this time around. But it's going to be definitely top of my list. I'm excited to do.
When's the last time you went to Disneyland, Tom? Have you ever been to Disneyland?
Wow. Okay. So I was on the property of Disneyland for a school conference in 2000, but I did not go into Disneyland for anything at that time. I was at Disney World on New Year's Eve, 1979 to 1980, my friends. That is the last time I've been on, other than the cruises, that's the last time I've been in a Disney property. So here's my question. I'm just going to start with this question.
Okay.
How many hours do we have there?
That's a good question.
It went pretty long, like 1 in the morning last time, didn't it? Well, I don't know.
It's from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Aha.
Okay.
I was looking for that too.
But I think we can get in earlier.
Okay. I'm sitting here thinking someone just might need to hold
Disneyland
my
Park
hand.
mix-in begins at 6. It says it starts at 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it just depends on when we get out. Yeah.
I've already got a game plan for what we're going to do
to
maximize everything.
Oh,
but
good.
I think the number one thing, and I think Cory would back me up on this, I feel very confident saying this, we've got to get Tom on Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Got to.
100%.
And we've got to get you Noga's.
You get to go to the Galaxy's Edge at least. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's where we'll spend most of our time. But you got to see the Haunted Mansion, especially because you've never
There's
seen
Indiana
it.
Jones ride I want to ride again.
Caribbean, Indiana Jones.
Yes. Actually, isn't there Guardians of the Galaxy that just opened?
That's the Tower of that's at Florida. At Epcot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boo. All right. Well.
Oh my goodness. I am, and here's okay.
We're
So
doing it.
here's where my brain is right now, my friends.
Okay,
is Star Wars Celebration, and then this Disney After Dark. Is that what it's called?
Disneyland After Dark.
They're like two. It's like a planet and a moon.
That's not.
And I'm going to take a trip to that moon for about 4, 5, 6 hours.
Yep.
And I am just so pumped. I need to go do some extra walking or something.
Right. Get those miles in.
It's going to be it's going to be a highlight. Like Thursday night. And so what's going on Saturday night and Sunday night? I honestly don't know. At this point. I mean,
who knows?
There's stuff going on like the night before, but we're all getting there. Cory's getting there early Wednesday. We're getting there pretty late Wednesday night, Tom and I. So, but man, wow! I can't wait to see the Falcon for the first time.
I know.
Oh, I'm just gonna say right now, folks, the tissues are gonna be there, and I'm not gonna be ashamed if I cry like a baby, because it's gonna. I don't know. Maybe it won't happen, but I just sense that I'm going to become very overwhelmed because of the whole weekend. But then
emotional.
all of that. Oh my God.
It's going to be bliss. It's going to be absolute bliss.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
No, I know. It's great. It's great. Well, we hope to see all of you at the podcast meetup on Thursday at Disneyland After Dark. Certainly at Celebration. I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this week's The Road to Celebration. Hopefully next week we'll have even more announcements for you. Different things to share. My latest book, Star Wars I Am Your Father, Lessons for Parents, Protectors, and Mentors, is going to come out on May 27th. So that is pretty cool.
Yay.
So I'm loved that a book is coming out that I was fortunate to be a part of with Amy Raquel, the awesome Amy Raquel, at Star Wars Celebration. So hey, if you grab the book and you see me on the floor, I'm going to have Sharpie with me. I'm happy to sign it for you. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, boy.
Guys, let's real quick. We do have a couple of questions here. Let me go into the CWK Cafe, which is, of course, our Facebook group that we love to interact with everybody on. I highly recommend that you go check it out frequently. Let's see what we've got here. I know that I believe it was either Craig. Let's see, was it Craig or who was it? Someone said to me, They were asking me about the food. Let me find this. I posted, hey, if you have any questions about Celebration. Oh, Dennis had one. But Dennis wanted to know about the web address to activate the badges. And how do you activate the badges? And all we know is that the badges activation is coming soon. It has not gone live yet. So since the lottery thing is going to happen tomorrow, my guess is tomorrow's when you can activate it. Remember, it's not from first come, first serve. It's like they're literally, you could be the first person to sign up or the last person to sign up, and you have the same amount of chances or opportunities to be able to be a part of these panels and be a recipient of the lottery itself. So don't worry about that. I think that tomorrow that will happen. And then as far as when is the app going to be live, that's a good question too, because the app's going to have like full directions and a list of where everything is and what time everything is. Yep. It hasn't come out yet too, but it's got to be soon. Yep. I would say. Let's see. Anything else? What are some other questions? Here we go. Craig says, how does the food situation work? Is there food on site, or do people even come back, pack snacks, and or power through? That is a very important question, Mr. Craig Dickinson. We're really looking forward to finally meeting Craig. It seems weird, Craig. We've known you for like the 9 years of the show, and we've never met you face to face. So I can't wait to give you a big hug, buddy. But as far as food goes, there's a couple of options. You should absolutely bring snacks.
Yes.
You should definitely bring snacks. Yeah, that's going to be a pour over topic, I think, very, very soon. A lot of people leave. There's going to be food stuff inside the convention center that you can grab. Stuff. A lot of people go outside and eat around like the fountain, and there's a bunch of seating areas. And at D23, back in 2019, they had a ton of food trucks with really, really good food. I would assume those food trucks are contracted to be a part of it. So I'm assuming those food trucks will be back again. That's probably where I'm going to go.
That's where Anaheim last time had it too. I remember walking out there and getting
did they?
Food trucks. Yep.
Okay. Anything you guys want to say about food or snacks or things
I
like
hope
that?
they have nachos.
This is like a big thing.
That's my big hope. So we'll see.
I'm always up for some sandwiches.
I know you are.
Oh, the snacks.
That was part of that. If you're scratching your head thinking, what are they talking about? I feel the same way, and I lived it with them. But that was like a weird thing that these two were laughing about the entire time during Star Wars Celebration Chicago. That's part of the hijinks.
If you know, I don't know. We're excited to have more hijinks. That's what I'm excited for. Top of my list.
Here.
Hijinks.
So Lauren and Smooth Rivera says, I saw someone in a different Star Wars group say they chose a time slot for their Ewan McGregor autograph. I haven't seen any possibility to do this. They also said their info says Group 1. Do I have to sign up for a time slot, and how do I do that? Lauren, unfortunately, my friend, that went live like 2 weeks ago and sold out within the hour. That is on the StarWarsCelebration.com website, where you go to autographs and meeting guests, and that is where you get to the link for official pics, and that's where you can sign up for autograph and photo opportunity times. Ewan sold out right away, so unless they open new ones, I'm afraid you will miss that opportunity. So I'm really sorry to be the bearer of bad news there. But definitely go and check out on StarWarsCelebration.com where they talk about the different guests, and you'll see the official picks area to click and sign up for your time slot for whoever you would like to meet. Yeah. Anything else, guys, you want to add to that, or should we just wrap things up?
Sounds good.
I'm good, yeah. I got snacks on my mind.
Well, Cory, please let everybody know where they can ask you any questions about snacks or what the heck you're talking about with sandwiches. What is going on?
That's right. You can contact me on Twitter at Cory Clubb if you want to know about my sandwiches and snacks and what I'm going to possibly be packing. Who knows? But reach out there, or if you want to email me, CoryC@coffeewithkenobi.com.
And Tom, what about you?
Don't forget that part. We'll go through.
That's right.
But, return to sender. Yeah.
Let's see. To talk about anything Star Wars with me, you can probably catch me most of the time on Twitter at Draftline, DRAFTLINE. Send me an email, tomg@coffeewithkenobi.com. And hey, if you love adventure, I'm gonna shamelessly plug this. you can catch me on the podcast Teachers in the Dungeon, where I'm co-host with my friend Dan Ream, and we release shows every Tuesday. And over the last couple of weeks, we've broke down a lot of the brand new big announcements Wizards of the Coast made at the end of April. And then Dan and I each have a solo show where we talk about some of our favorite Star Wars, our favorite Dungeons and Dragons books. So join us there. But yeah, love to talk snacks or anything else Star Wars on Twitter at DraftLion. Thank you.
Absolutely. So if you have a good topic and you want to have a podcast with Tom, you have to have a name Dan as a co-host. That's just part of his contract. That's part of the deal. Look, we had a great time, of course, talking Star Wars Celebration with all of you. We've got we're just a few weeks away from the big event. If you think of any questions between now and next week, please let us know in the CWK Cafe. We'll be happy to answer everything that we can. On behalf of myself, Tom Gross, and Cory Clubb, this is Dan Zare. We will see you next time, friends. And remember, this is the podcast you're looking for.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.